Cattle rustle major security challenge in Zamfara State. Zulum and other Northeast governors issue 11-point communique after Gombe meeting. Ganduje commends federal government as fake okays $2.571 billion Kano gas project. And on the international side, US and European refiners faces competition as Dangote targets 2021. Welcome to Standard Voice Television News. My name is Samira Ibrahim. Now the news in full. The Zamfara State government says cattle rustling remains a major challenge in the effort to tackle high level of insecurity in the state. The State Commissioner for Security and Home Affairs, Alhaji Abubakar Dauran, made the disclosure in Gusau. Alhaji Abubakar Dauran, who was speaking at a one-day seminar on Islamic perspectives on insecurity in the state, said the cattle rustling was a major drawback on the effort to rid Zamfara of crime and criminals. The commissioner said the Governor Bello Matawalle-led administration has initiated dialogue and is poised to restore normalcy to Zamfara, but one area which is most challenging is cattle rustling, and the administration is giving it the needed attention. The news agency of Nigeria, NAN, reports that the seminar was organized by the ministry in collaboration with the Commission for Preaching and Establishment of Jumu'at Mosques and Eid Praying Grounds. The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, has pointed out that there are not enough government jobs for Nigerian youths and graduates. According to the minister, university graduates, hundreds of thousands of youths, have no hope of securing employment in government agencies or companies. The minister stated this during a meeting of the advisory board of the Abuja Team for Regional Entrepreneurship Acceleration Program, RIP, promoted by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, on Thursday. The minister said that MITRIP, an entrepreneurial initiative, is the fastest way to solve the unemployment challenges facing the country, get Nigerian youth gainfully engaged and out of the streets. He said the learnings and principles applied through RIP are transferable to any town, city, state or region of this near nation of ours, and so it should be. The minister said their team had decided that the RIP program offered by MIT offered the best proven example of such. In January 2019, they decided to make the application to MIT as Team Abuja. Lagos has previously undergone RIP and arguably there have been benefits to its ecosystem but little direct carryover to the rest of the country. The minister said there is an implicit aim this time to make the efforts more inclusive, even if doing the program for Nigeria as a whole will have been too cumbersome. He explained that in May, MIT accepted Abuja's application to embark on the program after a competitive assessment to bidding regions from all over the world. The minister revealed that Abuja is joined in RIP's 7th cohort by teams from regions in Denmark, Japan, Saudi Arabia and Taiwan. According to him, the Lagos team had colleagues from Canada, Iceland, Peru, Spain and the UAE, attesting to the importance that the world places on creating innovation-driven ecosystems and our aspiration to operate at global best standards. Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Zulum, alongside other governors of the Northeast, released a 17-point communique after their one-day meeting in Gombe. The communique was read by host governor of Gombe State, Inuwa Muhammad Yahya, after the governors held closed-door meetings which lasted hours. In the communique, they resolved to support all initiatives that will ensure the success of the Mambila hydropower project for improved productivity in the sub-region and the country as a whole, and also to look into the possibility of regional power generation, as well as examine the ownership of electricity distribution companies. They also discussed extensively with the owners of Ashaka Cement Company on the need to address the road infrastructure deficit, taking advantage of the Executive Order 7 of the Federal Government of Nigeria. The communique agreed to examine the agricultural potentials of the region and to conduct baseline studies with a view to providing a robust agricultural value chain in order to address food security both in the region and the country at large. The forum decried the deplorable condition of the Lake Chad Basin and called on the federal government to come out with a comprehensive water resource management plan that will fast-track the process of water transfer from the Congo River. The forum resolved to key into the environmental initiatives of the federal government of Nigeria, including the Great Green Wall and other afforestation programs. The forum commended the federal government of Nigeria on the ongoing oil exploration and thanked the National Assembly and the Nigerians at large for the renewed interest of hydrocarbon in the Northeast sub-region. The forum agreed to establish a technical working committee to implement all the actions they agreed upon. They also agreed to meet quarterly with the next meeting scheduled for Borno State in mid-April so as to cover the lost gap. Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje of Kano State has commended the federal government as the Federal Executive Council (FEC) in its recent meeting approves the sum of $2.571 billion for the gigantic project of Ajaokuta-Kaduna-Kano gas project. The project aimed at spurring genuine and sustainable industrialization as well as industrial growth, where gas-based and power-generating companies will form the significant part of the key prospective beneficiaries. He appreciated that President Muhammadu Buhari has indeed come to rescue the nation's ailing industries, particularly the moribund industry in Kano that were critically affected for many years for one reason or the other, but with the fundamental reason of inadequate electricity. He disclosed that it was because of the epileptic nature of electricity supply in the country that the state in particular, that they decided to evolve ways of having more power to power their industries. It is evidently clear, as posed by the governor, that President Muhammadu Buhari's determination and political will to see to the bouncing back of workable industries in the state and the nation in general are playing critical role in this project. He assured that the moribund industries of Kano and Kaduna states, in particular, with this people-oriented project, will bounce back in the most effective and efficient ways possible. After the approval of the sum, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, briefed media men that they have done an extensive review of the project and were satisfied that the cash flows from the Ajaokuta-Kaduna-Kano gas pipeline project is sufficient to pay the facility itself. She went ahead and disclosed that this is one of the cardinal policies of this administration and it is very strategic to national development. She gave the assurance that the project will create employment opportunities, increase government revenue, encourage exports, and enhance the nation's foreign reserves by significantly reducing dependency on imports. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) is seeking the final forfeiture of Saraki's property situated at 17 and 17A McDonald Road, Ikoyi, Etiosa, Lagos. Moving the application for the final forfeiture of the properties cancelled to the applicant, Mr. Omewa told the court that the motion dated February 2, 2019 was supported by a 10-paragraph affidavit deposed by Olamide Sodiq, an investigative officer with the EFCC. The motion is praying the court for an order forfeiting to the federal government of Nigeria the properties of 17 and 17A McDonald Road, Ikoyi, Otiosa, Lagos, found and recovered by the Commission from the respondent, which is believed to have been acquired through the proceeds of unlawful activities. Mr. Omewa further told the court that the properties were acquired with a loan obtained from Guarantee Trust Bank and paid back by money suspected to have been diverted from coffers of the Kwara State government. He said that there are also written statements from some officials of the Kwara State government on how the money was taken from the coffers of the state government and used to pay back the loan. Mr. Omewa therefore urged the court to look at the merits of the application and all the exhibits attached in granting the relief sought. However, counsel to the respondent, Kehinde Ogunwumiju-San, in his counter-affidavit, urged the court to reject the application by the EFCC. The counsel further argued that the EFCC had not been able to prove that the money used to pay back the loan was acquired by any illegal activity. He further urged the court to dismiss the motion, seeking for the final forfeiture of the properties and rule in favor of the respondent. We'll be right back after this short commercial break. Stay tuned. Welcome back, and on the international scene. The US and European refineries that are currently being relied on for a chunk of the petroleum products supplied into Nigeria stand to lose as Dangote Group targets 2021 for the startup of its plant. Femi Asu reports that with Dangote Refinery expected to begin operations next year, refiners in the United States and Europe are at risk of a significant drop in their fuel exports to Nigeria. The US exported 1.12 million barrels of petrol to Nigeria last year, data obtained from the U.S. Energy Information Administration shown on Wednesday. European refineries currently supply a large portion of petroleum products consumed in the country and other West African countries. Nigeria, Africa's largest oil producer, relies largely on importation for petrol and other refined products as its refineries have remained in the state of disrepair for many years. The refineries located in Port Harcourt, Kaduna and Warri have a combined installed capacity of 445,000 barrels per day, but have continued to operate far below the installed capacity. Nigeria represents a paradox of being a major exporter of crude oil and a leading importer of petroleum products at the same time, the Director General, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Dr. Muda Yusuf, told correspondents. With the capacity to process 650,000 barrels of crude oil daily, Dangote Refinery located in Lagos has been described as the largest single-train facility in the world. The president, Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, said last Saturday that Nigeria will become the largest exporter of petroleum products in Africa after the completion of the refinery. He said the refinery, as well as the fertilizer plant set to be inaugurated in May this year, will help to create jobs in the country and reduce the outflow of foreign exchange. When the project was launched, the exchange rate was 122 naira to a dollar, but despite the rate at over 300 naira, now they are still going on and they are determined to finish Alhaji Dangote, and by July latest, the 500 megawatt power plant will be ready and they will have power here. In December, Dangote Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemicals Company announced the arrival of the crude distillation column equipment, key equipment that would process crude oil in its refinery. The equipment, which was manufactured by Sinopec in China, was said to have taken 14 months to be constructed and 8 weeks to arrive in Nigeria. Dangote Group said in November that it plans to export petroleum products from its refinery to Europe, South America, West Africa and Central Africa. The Executive Director, Strategy, Capital Project and Portfolio Development, Dangote Group, Deva Kumar Edwin, said products from the refinery could be marketed anywhere in the world. That has been the news from Standard Press Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Cattle rustling, major security challenge in the state. Zulum and other Northeast governors issue 11-point communique after Gombe meeting. Gaduja comments federal government as fake OK's $2.571 billion Kano gas project. And on the international scene, US and European refiners faces competition as Dangote targets 2021. That's the news. On behalf of the production crew, Head of News and Current Affairs, Ibrahim Garbachan. I am Samira Ibrahim, wishing you a pleasant weekend. Keep watching Standard First Television News.